I think I preferred Sentimental Value subtlety over Hamnet's in-your-faceness.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna watch Hamnet again, and I loved Hamnet. But
And when we watch Hamnet, he'll probably be higher on Jesse Buckley, 100%.
Recency bias exists, guys.
It's
okay?
a big thing for Drew. So, Drew, we have Renata Reinsva.
Yep.
All right, your turn on Inga.
Inga, Ib's daughter, Lilias.
Lilias? I think it's Lilias.
Okay.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
And then we've got Joachim Trier. And then Stellan Skarsgård, but that one's... And Elle Fanning.
Not that hard.
Yeah, we've kind of gotten the hang of those over the years, but Inga, Ib's daughter, Lilias has given me some trouble over the past 2 hours.
The names have given us trouble.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
We got Nora, we got Gustav,
Agnes,
and Rachel. That's a whole lot.
And you know what else doesn't give us trouble? Is doing this podcast. Welcome back to Stole My Line, a Fireside film podcast. I'm Grant.
And I'm Drew.
And our names are only one syllable each, so we're kind of easy to...
Should that be our new brand? Should we just do Stole My Line?
Stole My Line, the one syllable name
The one syllable men.
Yeah, but today we're talking about Sentimental Value.
We are.
Which is directed by Joachim Trier. And
it's true.
He has directed a few things, but Worst Person in the World is probably his second, or maybe his most popular work. Top two. Most popular work.
I would agree.
I haven't seen Worst Person in the World.
Neither have I.
Well, this movie made me want to watch Worst Person in the World. So,
this movie was very good.
Yes. Tell me all of your thoughts. We're going to go spoiler-free for the next little bit because odds are most people haven't seen this movie. So,
yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to the Oscar conversation, which is kind of what this whole series has been based around.
Yes.
You got Sentimental Value and Secret Agent.
Yes.
Which I would say are probably the least watched.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, but it's kind of where we are. I would say I loved this movie.
Okay.
I almost gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. That might be... I think there is some recency bias there.
Yes.
But, I mean, first impression, this movie's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is super emotionally impactful, but not in like a Hamnet or a Train Dreams way. It's super emotionally impactful, like super subtly. And
yes.
I mean, I think this movie is significantly subtler, which isn't bad. It's not good. It's just kind of
it's just
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie just tackles a lot heavy themes, and I think it does it with a lot of grace and a lot of skill from a narrative standpoint.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think this film touches on the themes of generational trauma and anxiety and depression, and then parenthood and sisterhood and daughterhood and family dynamics and divorce, and there's a lot going on.
There's a lot in this movie,
but this movie does a great job of handling it all. It doesn't hone in on one specific thing. I mean, it kind of does at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit.
I mean, I would say
it's all tied together. Is kind of the point too. So, but this movie was very beautifully shot, very, very well acted. Which we'll talk about the Oscars race at some point in all this, probably before spoilers, honestly, because I think we can.
Yeah.
But this movie, again, just very sharp direction, just very well made. All shot on 35 millimeter, by the way, which. I wanted to touch on cinematography at some point.
That is impressive.
So, well, there was some 16 millimeter, but you know what I mean. So, anyway, I really like this movie. I gave it 4.5 stars. I could see myself upon rewatch giving it a 5-star rating.
Yeah, I definitely could too.
This movie will come out, Criterion Collection, I think March or May. At some point, it's going to come out Criterion Collection. So
I'll just buy it then.
Yeah, I will too.
Yeah.
I will actually be buying this one. I was kind of sad that I had to watch this on streaming. And like what the Wi-Fi I was on kept compressing it every 2 minutes, and I was like, "This movie is too pretty of a movie for me to watch it on streaming." But
yeah, I agree.
I digress. Non-spoiler. What else do you want to talk about? Maybe at least in production, or if we want to hop into Oscars, we can too.
Yeah, I mean cinematography, and I think this movie played with surrealism in an interesting way, and like even just like from an editing standpoint, like. Lots of moments of black and just like it'll play a couple scenes and then just give you 5 seconds of just like a black screen.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, a lot of movies don't take pauses. We're all trying to hook each other and give us the next explosion and like keep our attention so that we don't turn off on a streaming service and go play Subway Surfers or whatever. But this movie felt very intentional and like very slow from every department's angle.
Yes, which was definitely the point of this. Not a lot happens. I feel
Right.
like
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff that happens, but as far as huge, like, intense moments, it's kind of just the opening in the movie, which is kind of an intense moment.
It is, yeah.
And then after that, it is just slow burn conversation after conversation. The ending is very, very muted in a good way, but, like, it is quiet. It is a quiet ending. So, yeah, I don't know. If you have to be down for a slow burn to like Sentimental Value, I think. So
Yeah, I agree. And, I mean, like, it's just, like, also an incredibly human movie.
Yes.
So, all these are good things. These are not, I think to some ears it can be like, oh, it's slow, that's boring. No. I think this movie is just very intentional and very human, which is not often tackled.
Yeah, completely agree. And I think from a pure production standpoint, I know I mentioned the film, the 35mm, which does look amazing. But also, a lot of it's handheld cinematography.
Yeah, that's true.
The framing of shots is so good.
It's very Severance-esque.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't think of that at all, but I see.
I think just the way Severance plays with, like, negative space and,
Yes.
like, covering, like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some shots in Severance where it's covering 7/8 of the frame with black, and it's
Yeah.
just, like, a little thing.
Yeah.
There's so many, like, silhouetted things here.
Yeah. It's Chikai Bardo. Is that that's the one episode in season 2 that? Oh, okay. If you haven't seen Severance, that episode's incredible. But
Which episode is that?
that's the one.
This is not related to Sentimental Value at all.
I'm gonna bleep out these spoilers later. This is creating more work for me. But it's the one where you get all of
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, but there's a lot of great cinematography in this film. There were a lot of shots that you follow characters throughout these rooms, and they are moving. The camera's completely still, and they're moving in 3 different areas, and with mirrors or other things.
Some of the
there
mirror
are
shots in this movie were crazy.
Lots of great racking focus and everything. Bokeh is just beautiful in this movie. I mean,
100%.
there's so much great stuff in this movie, from a pure framing and blocking and everything. But I have a fun fact for you. Are you ready for this?
Hit me with a fun fact.
So this movie is very natural looking, shot on 35mm,
Yeah.
right? So did you know that this house is completely a soundstage? And they used LED walls for the stuff outside the windows. So every background tree, every scene in the background is completely LED wall. Like the volume like you see on Mandalorian and more modern stuff.
That is insane.
Yeah, crazy.
That is so wild.
But I was reading this article by the cinematographer and stuff, and he was saying you could not see the LEDs at all because of the film, the grain. It just blurred it all over, or not blurred it all over, but it made it look very, very real.
Right.
So super impressive. I did not suspect that at all, and then I read that fun fact. I was like, that's crazy. I had no idea.
That is so crazy.
But yeah. Anyway, I could keep on going about the cinematography, but it was great.
No, that's super interesting.
Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about the performances here, specifically in the Oscars conversation?
Yeah, let's
because
do
this
it.
I feel like this was the movie that got a lot of acting nominations that we were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, but what do you think? I say let's start with Stellan Skarsgård. Best Supporting Actor nomination.
And that's the other contender there is Benicio del Toro and
We got Sean Penn.
Sean Penn,
I would
right.
say, is like a pretty
He's
big
the-
heavyweight here.
Okay. See, I don't feel like in this
And you have
specific...
Jacob Elordi. I mean, you have other good
Jacob
supporting
Elordi's
actors.
there too. I think Stellan Skarsgård should win.
Yeah.
100%. I think
Really?
I think the 3 leads in this movie were so real and raw and just like, this is one of those movies where it's like, you know people who are in this situation.
Oh, totally.
And it's I would, this is a bold claim. This was the most believable performance from these 3 people that I've seen maybe all year. It was just so authentic and real, and you're like, that is just exactly how this would play out in real life.
Yeah, totally. And there's a lot of complexity to the characters, and they
100%.
convey it so well.
It's insane.
Of their flaws and just their trauma, I think a lot of it, which is so understated. I mean, it's
100%.
said a lot in the movie,
100%.
but there's not a lot of outbursts or anything. It's all little emotions bubbling over, which is so how real life plays out.
Yeah, I mean, like it's so real.
Yeah. I'm going to say this about actor categories.
Okay.
Specifically with Best Actor, I'm very passionate about this because for me, the best supporting actor or actress is the one that elevates the film like on their own from a supporting role. Like the film would not be different at all. Or wait, sorry, the film would be completely different with them not in the movie. And like the film would be much worse off. I think Stellan Skarsgård totally fits that bill. Completely. Sean Penn.
Yeah, I knew.
Based off my definition of what I think the best supporting actor should be, Sean Penn elevates One Battle beyond. Like I don't think anybody else could play Lockjaw. I've said this on the podcast before. I don't think anybody else could play Gustav as well as Stellan Skarsgård could.
But is there any criteria in your criteria that is like it moved you emotionally?
No,
because
totally.
I would argue Sean Penn.
If I'm picking my favorite, well, Lockjaw is very watchable. But if I'm picking my favorite performance of these two, I'm probably going to pick Stellan Skarsgård. But I don't think, based off what I think Best Supporting Actor should be, of how they elevate the film, I think it should be Sean Penn still.
That hurts my heart.
Now,
a
if
little
Stellan wins, I will not be mad. I will be like, okay, that makes sense, and I'm fine with that.
bit. Yeah.
But I don't know. That's my take. You probably hate that.
I disagree.
You hate
I
it.
disagree
You hate it
so
much.
bad.
You hate it so much.
I
Okay.
think Stellan Skarsgård blows Lockjaw
I think you
out
got
of the
a
water.
little bit. No, he does not. I think you have a little bit of recency bias.
And I mean, I think this Sentimental Value and One Battle are so different
Yeah.
that it's hard in my mind to compare. Because
That's true.
I think maybe it's just me personally, but like I don't even know if this is true coming out of my mouth. But welcome to Stole My Line. I value the solid dramatic performance that moves me emotionally over the comedic satire, which I
Yeah.
think is what Sean Penn's going for. So in my head, I'm like, even if it wasn't these two actors, I'd be like, dramatic, slow, emotional performance over the satire.
Right, and I think I agree with you. Of my personal preference and my opinion is Stellan. I like this performance better, but I'm trying to be more objective on if this person elevates the movie better. That is where my opinion on Best Supporting Actor comes from. But here's something I will say too, and we kind of ran into this with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is like 7 years ago at this point, or maybe 6. But Brad Pitt and Leo were kind of dual leads in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
100%, yeah.
But Leo got the Best Actor push, and Brad Pitt got the Best Supporting Actor push, and he won Best Supporting Actor. At a certain point, Stellan Skarsgård isn't really a supporting actor here. Like, he's a lead.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is a lead actor. So, I don't know. I think I was a little on the fence about him getting nominated for this after watching this movie because I feel like he could have just as easily been nominated for Best Actor, or at least been pushed towards that. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I would argue that the two leads are Agnes and Nora.
Okay.
And that he
I'd
is
probably
supporting.
agree.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Agnes is Best Supporting Actress nomination. Same with Elle Fanning.
Elle Fanning, I completely agree with.
Yeah. Inga got a Best Supporting.
Yeah, that is.
And I think she
intriguing.
is a supporting
I
actress
think she
more.
is too.
So, I guess let's move to...
I think Nora is the protagonist.
Yeah, totally. Nora is lead...
Right.
I would say the overall lead of this movie,
Yeah.
right? But let's move on to... Let's start with Elle Fanning.
Okay.
I feel like her performance was great.
I think it was serviceable and good.
For what she was doing, she did a great job.
Yep.
And there were some moments where I'm like, wow, she is a very deep character because Elle Fanning is portraying her great.
Yeah, totally agree.
And then I was like, that's kind of my whole opinion on
She's
her.
not going to win.
And she shouldn't win.
If she wins,
The Nod is great. The Nod is,
and yeah,
and she's
100%.
super talented.
Super talented.
But she should not win. That would be a shock to me if she won.
I would be devastated.
Yeah. I think we got to talk about Inga then.
Inga should win.
Because we had some comments when we did our Oscars recap, and they were like, oh, Inga is a lock for Best Supporting. I watched this movie. I haven't seen all of the Best Supporting Actress nominees perform in their films.
Mm-hmm.
She should win Best Supporting Actress. And I don't think I think maybe we could see Weapons have some crazy moment for that film, but I think Inga should win. It's not even close. So,
yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. Teyana Taylor, everyone is saying is up there.
She was fine. She was good. She was good.
Agree.
I might get flack
I think
for that.
Inga should win.
Inga should win. Yeah, totally. Okay, and then let's talk about Renata Reinsve.
I have said on this podcast that Jessie Buckley is a lock for Best Supporting Actress.
Well, she probably still is the most lock of all of these categories.
I haven't seen Hamnet in 3 months. Okay, so we're gonna rewatch it in
a week, maybe.
Yeah. So like this conversation will be much fresher in the Hamnet conversation.
Yeah, we'll revisit this.
But Jessie Buckley in my mind is no longer a lock.
Because you think Renata could win?
I think they are both equal.
Wow. I've heard so much praise for Jessie Buckley. And I think she's got the momentum right now.
She does have the momentum.
Which sucks because I like more competitive Oscars races. But
I think Renata was so subtle. And again, like kind of similar to what I said about Stellan, but like so subtle in her performance and just so real. Not that Jessie was not. I think she was. But Hamnet is much more of a...
The emotion's right there, right?
Yeah. Which is not bad. It's just I think I preferred Sentimental Value subtlety over Hamnet's in-your-faceness.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna watch Hamnet again, and I loved Hamnet. But
and
like
when we watch Hamnet, he'll probably be higher on Jessie Buckley, 100%.
Recency bias exists, guys.
It's
okay?
a big thing for Drew, but I haven't seen Hamnet. I still haven't seen Hamnet because I've been waiting to watch Hamnet on this podcast. So I will voice my opinion when we watch Hamnet. So stay tuned for that episode.
I think either of them could win, and I would not be angry if either of them won because they were both phenomenal.
Yeah, totally. Let's talk about this briefly. This is our last thing before we move into spoilers, but let's talk about this briefly in the Best Picture conversation because I feel like we touched on it a little bit I think in our Train Dreams episode of small movies can have a big impact on people. Like, where do you feel like, because this is a small movie, quote unquote, but where do you feel like Sentimental Value plays in that whole conversation?
And again, I don't think this is recency bias. I hope that I'm a good enough reviewer where I can objectively remove myself.
Before you say these next words that come out of your mouth, I read your Letterboxd review and I thought Drew loves this movie and it is a very good movie. He has a little bit of recency bias going on.
We gave it the same rating.
I know, and I gave Frankenstein 5.
Yeah, and
okay, just say what you're gonna say.
Look, I think of the three small movies in my mind, and that is Hamnet, Train Dreams, Sentimental Value.
You're gonna say this one's the best, aren't you?
I think it's the best.
Okay, I haven't seen Hamnet, but I don't
think
even
it's
know.
Better than Train Dreams.
See, that's tough because Train Dreams is incredible.
All three of them are incredible.
I don't know, man. Let's watch Hamnet and have this entire discussion.
I think this conversation is
because
postponed.
I've heard a lot of Hamnet praise too. So
and Hamnet's great. Like Hamnet is so good.
Man, I don't know.
I do think this
Train
movie,
Dreams was so good.
I think it's better than Train Dreams.
They are all three, I can say without having seen Hamnet, very high quality films. So,
and I think I want one of these three to win over anything else in my mind.
Even over Sinners.
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive coming from you.
I think as I've kind of marinated on the Oscar situation, I'm like, I think Sinners is great, but I think at the end of the day, emotional storytelling wins overall, in my mind, personally, for me.
Totally.
And these three knocked it out of the park, where I think Sinners was a nice double. Maybe
it's a triple.
A triple. I'll give it a triple.
All right. Well,
now, if we add like technical filmmaking in,
which I do think should play into Best Picture.
I agree. I think Sinners has a whole lot more runway, but I think Sentimental Value is incredibly technical.
It is very well done.
So is Train Dreams, and so is Hamnet.
Yeah. Well, guys, let us know in the comments what you think of this conversation. This episode probably isn't getting a ton of views because no one's seen Sentimental Value, but we would love to know what you think
of this. For the four people here,
we love
what do you think?
We love you. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we dive briefly into spoilers?
Let's get into spoilers.
Okay. Well, if you haven't seen Sentimental Value, go watch it, genuinely. Like, stop this video right now and go watch Sentimental Value.
It is very good.
It's available for rent. I think it's probably in some theater chains too, so go check that one out. So, I will say, I did not know what I was supposed to expect from this movie.
Okay.
But all of the promotion was... Okay, I say all the promotion. The vibe I got from the promotion was very happy, was very light. And this movie looks very bright and happy for like 90% of it. And Elle Fanning was in a lot of the promotion.
True.
Which is probably fair for a movie trying to get promoted to American audiences to put your American actress in all of the promos. She was not in this movie. This was not about her whatsoever. Like, she was very much a side character. And I just found myself really falling in love with the characters. Specifically, I think, honestly, at first it was Nora. And then it was kind of Gustav. And, like, I felt so much depth from him. And then Agnes had her scene with Gustav when
Great scene.
Yeah, when she's like, you weren't ever here. And it's kind of like her moment to actually voice her opinion. And I was like, wow, Agnes is an incredible character too. So I think I just did not expect how much I would love all three of these characters and just their dynamic overall. But I don't know, what did you think? Spoiler-filled story, everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think character's phenomenal. I mean, again, I think it just tackled depression, anxiety, family dynamics, family trauma,
time.
It just tackled it all with such... I mean, I think a lot of movies have tried it before, and when movies try to be serious, it either goes two ways. It's either really good or just corny, and you're like,
yeah,
that was terrible.
Yeah,
like you have no understanding of what this concept is like. And this movie is not that. I think this movie is just so... It dives so headfirst into all these hard topics and just plays it with so much reality and just knocks it out of the park.
Which, this is more of my guess, but I can kind of tell Joachim Trier kind of said, I'm going to make a movie about this family situation.
Right.
And all of the themes were built under it, but he wrote the movie about this, so he wasn't trying to write a movie about all these themes. He's trying to write about this family situation.
Yeah.
And he pulled all of these themes into the movie, and it works so much better than, I'm going to tell a movie that covers these 9 topics.
I'm going to tell a story about depression.
Right. Yeah. So I think I'm very impressed with the writing specifically here because, it's just, it's very graceful in the way that it tells a story. And they pull, which, really quick, kind of content warning, but they pull themes of self-harm and, Nora trying to take her own life into this movie, which I didn't really expect them to do. I mean, that was kind of a subtle reveal that happens towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's true.
It makes a lot of what happens earlier in the movie make a ton of sense, but there's a lot of themes in here that are slowly revealed that make a lot of stuff so much more impactful. So, yeah.
I think the house almost being a character.
Yes.
It's not necessarily original, but super interesting.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, this is kind of funny. The first is, I don't know, first 2-3 minutes is like locked in on the house and you're going through different rooms.
Which, when I said the beginning was intense, I did not mean that scene. I meant when she was about to go out into the play. But,
and at the first thing, I was like, wait, is this movie in Norwegian? Which is like, I just...
you did not know?
I walked in so blind. I'm like, I don't know what this is. It won, or got nominated, so I'll watch it. And then it's like, I looked it up. It's like, yeah, you need subtitles. I was like, okay. So then I flipped on subtitles. And
so you watched like the first stretch
without the first 3 minutes, and I'm
like,
like, I don't know what's happening.
It is. I saw a reel. Wow, that's very just Gen Z of me to say. But I saw a reel about somebody watching. They were watching anime while like doing homework or doing something else. So they would watch it and then they would look down and it would just be gibberish.
Wait, I've seen the same reel.
I had that moment because I was studying for an exam last night and I had this movie on and I had watched like 45 minutes. Like, I have to study for this exam. The moment I looked down, I was like, that's not going to work. Just like, I don't know what's happening. There were probably 4 or 5 times I skipped it back just so I could understand what they were saying. But I digress. The story's great. Very well written. What do you think of the subtle ending?
I don't know. I mean, again, we literally talked about the last episode, which was Crime 101, about like cross editing. And
there was some great cross editing.
This movie had a lot of that too. And I mean, the one that got me the most, obviously, and I assume most people, is like the house. It cuts to the house, and then it's like Nora and what's the kid's name?
Oh gosh, I don't remember the kid's name. I'm so sorry.
I don't remember either.
Say the kid. We'll just say
The blonde Norwegian child. Him. She was like making him lunch, and then he leaves, and then she's about to hang herself, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it felt so tonally jarring because I'm like, wait, we just had this great moment where she read the script,
and I knew this was. I knew, but at the same time, you're like, wait. You're like, what if this isn't? What if this is just how the movie ends?
I know.
Oh my gosh! But
and then
what if it's a flashback or like, who knows? You know?
I don't know. And then it cuts to like the film set, and you're like, oh my gosh! Like, thank the Lord that this is the ending.
Yeah, totally.
But the subtle ending is, I think, perfect. I think
just that connection.
Yeah, I don't think you need to spell it out, and I think I loved the script, and like. I mean, obviously, we talk about movies on this podcast and have for 80 plus episodes. So, like, we like movies and we like stories that impact us. So that being a theme here, and like Agnes reading the script and being so moved that she goes to Nora, even though Nora has A, already rejected, and B,
she says, I don't want any part of anything.
I mean, hate's a strong word, but like low-key hates her dad. Like... And Agnes is like, you have to read it because he wrote it about you.
Yeah.
And then she reads it, and then she's in the movie.
Which is kind of funny. Like, had she just read at the beginning, she might have just...
Yeah, this whole situation would have been avoided.
2 hours of film here. But I think that the journey is what's most important here. But yeah. Well, this is kind of the last conversation I want to have before we get into our rating and everything. But we've kind of talked a lot about how this movie is about a lot, but it's kind of about this family dynamic. Sort of, what would you say if you had to say Sentimental Value is about blank? What would you say?
Father and a daughter.
Yeah.
Or two sisters.
I would say a family trying to reconnect.
Yeah, that's better.
Because there's also moments where the sisters are very disconnected. And there's that whole scene that's a very impactful scene where they reconnect, and then Nora reads the script. So I would kind of say it's about family connection. But then, like, you start piling on generational trauma. Oh, and also Netflix kind of sucks.
Like that.
Like, there's a bunch of stuff in here, but it's...
I also love movies about movies, and this was that.
Which I'm waiting, actually. I thought about talking about this on this podcast, but this is just a preview of our Hamnet episode. I want to talk about how Hollywood is obsessed with its own craft.
It's true.
This is about making movies.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, so, yeah. But, I don't know, anything else you want to talk about with Sentimental Value?
Should we rate it?
Let's rate it.
Let's rate it.
This is going to be the quickest rating.
If you can't tell, we both think you should buy it on Blu-ray.
Yes, in fact, don't just buy it on Blu-ray. Buy it 4K UHD Criterion Collection Edition.
Yeah, go support Criterion.
Yeah, go support physical media. That was pretty cool.
One day we'll be sponsored by Criterion.
Oof, probably not, but maybe we'll get in the closet. If we ever got in the closet, I would just...
Wouldn't that be crazy, dude?
I might quit my... If we ever get in the closet, I might straight up quit my job. Like, so straight up.
If we are close to that point, I would have
I may have already quit my job if we... Well, yeah.
I think I'm going to quit my job before you, I guarantee it.
Oh, man. But, yes, go watch Sentimental Value. It's on streaming right now. It's in some theaters. Watching it in theaters is probably a better experience.
Yeah.
Straight up right now. Because it's a very pretty film. So, yeah. But... Guys, our camera shut off, so this is our 7th take of this outro. Drew, what do we have coming up next?
We got How to Make a Killing with Glenn Powell, 8/24. It's an hour and 45.
So we're going to go watch that this weekend.
Going to be lit. And then we're doing Hamnet the 26th, next Thursday.
We're bold. We're doing Hamnet. So
this conversation will continue about Best Actress talk.
Yeah.
And then, to close out our Oscars, 2 Thursdays, we got Secret Agent. We got Night of the Seven Kingdoms still happening.
Yes, that will come out probably Monday or Tuesday, so go watch that finale on Sunday.
We got lots of surprises down the road. There's a couple of big shows coming out. We're not going to say what they are yet, but...
Yeah, and we'll cover the Oscars, like we said. So
yeah,
probably do one more preview somewhere in there, so stay tuned for that. We're going to do some research on the storylines and who has the buzz. So yeah.
Michael B. Jordan.
We'll see. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
Take a break.
Enjoy film.